So final game of Super Rugby round 16, final game before the June internationals really kicking away for the Aussie and New Zealand teams. Seeing the Brumbies take down the Sunwolves 41 points to 31 in Canberra. For the Brumbies, tries to Pocock, McCaffrey, Banks, Muirhead, Spate got 2 and Cusack the 1. For the Sunwolves, Emery, Van Wyk, Quirk and Ishii. Wasn't a classic. There was a lot of suffocating kind of play from the Brumbies. They were playing a Sunwolves kind of B team here, and I mean the bookies had the Brumbies winning by 30 points, which I mean would indicate that the Brumbies are going to cut them to bits, but it never really eventuated. The Brumbies kind of stuck to their traditional, quite a lot of mauling, playing close, kicking when it's smart to, not real kind of expensive play. Even though, kind of what we hear from the Brumbies management is that they're looking to shift away from the traditional, was for the most part that kind of play, but with a sprinkling of kind of magic or flair, from time to time. So Brumbies had a lot of ball early, just built a lot of pressure. Scrum dominance was there, really just putting the squeeze on. It went out to 19-3 at one point, and you're thinking, man, they're just sucking the life out of the Sunwolves team. That was about 25 minutes. But Sunwolves didn't give up. They stuck to their plan of trying to play quick and managed to hit back with a fortunate one from Emery, which came from a charge down. But they managed to get it back within 2. So half time it was 19-17, and then that was just after half time, 19-17. So Sunwolves not really out of it. Interesting that Pocock got a try, but also that he went off at 55 minutes. A lot of the talk before this game was the Brumbies kind of denying the Wallabies or Australian Rugby's request to rest some of these key players. So both CO and Pocock went off after 55, which was clearly planned. And Ala Alatoa went off not long after that as well. Brumbies, a lot of their tries came from set-piece moves, line-out moves, which was slick, all well and good. But I mean, the commentators alluded to it as well, is that if ever the Brumbies find themselves not able to win their own line-out ball or their scrum under pressure, they're probably going to struggle, because just with heads-up play, they don't look the sharpest of the teams, and I guess that kind of reflects their position on the table as well. For the Sunwolves, I mean, like I said, it's a B team for them, really. A lot of guys out. Once again, they've not disgraced themselves. They tackled when they needed to. They made a lot more tackles than the Brumbies. I mean, tackling percentage wasn't fantastic. It was only in the 70s. But given the team they were fielding, they still performed pretty admirably. I mean, some of these guys hadn't even played Super Rugby before, or not at least for the Sunwolves anyway. So against what was essentially a full-strength Brumbies team away from home is pretty encouraging. We've been a weird one for the kickers. A lot of the kickers, including kickers we know who can, kick pretty accurately, have had off nights. And whilst Hayden Parker was still doing his thing, getting 100%, Leali'ifano was having a shocker. I think he only kicked 2 from 6. So, 33% is not where you want to be at. I mean, the Brumbies got a bonus point from this game, which is, fantastic news for them. 7 tries to 4. When you think we got a bonus point win, you're thinking you won by about 20 points. But with 4 missed kicks and the Sunwolves kicking a penalty, it's only a 10-point difference. So on another day, that's a kind of kicking performance that could have been pretty costly to the team. But yeah, possession territory, 60-40 to the Brumbies, so it kind of makes sense. In the first half, it was even more. It was in the 70s. And it's a result that the Brumbies, I mean, good on them for getting a bonus point win at the end of the season. It's not really going to matter that it wasn't a startling performance. The crowd looked better than it was at the Rebels game for sure. I'm sure some people got the message. I'm not sure if they hit 15,000, but the side of the ground, I think it's the Mel Meninga stand, which doesn't face the camera, so it's usually out of shot, seemed to have more people in it anyway, in the shots where you would get from the sideline. So hopefully it was a decent crowd. When your team scores 41 points, hey, the Blues can only dream of that. So, if I was a Brumbies fan, I wouldn't be complaining. But I think there's still more work to be done there. And for the Sunwolves, I guess it's just a bit more depth building, and hopefully we can start to see some of their their main guys back once the June internationals are all done and dusted. So, yep, good win for the Brumbies. Sunwolves did their bit and didn't just roll over and die like the bookies thought they would. But yeah, at the end of the season, I think neither of these teams is really threatening for playoffs, so it's probably not going to matter. Perhaps a bit of a dead rubber, but no big injuries for Wallabies guys either, so that's also a bit of good news. And yeah, we'll see how these two teams go come the end of the season. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on the game, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.